part two of celebrating special needs.
With you doing this, I'm sure you have a lot of repeat guys coming back, or do you have a different group of guys every year?
It's usually in her program, so it's always in her program. So yeah, I do have them, and she said they fight over it. They'd be like
To come back, huh?
yeah, to come back. So
That's good.
which is good, and she said that the whole season they're talking about we're going to tree lot, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and because they get a chance to buy stuff for their family, and because they get to go home, because a lot of them are taken out of their homes, which we go to that later, taken out of their homes because of whatever the courts or the system seeing that they're not in a good home. And
we're definitely going to address that. Didn't want to jump too far ahead, but one last thing for beyond that, you did mention something during our meet and greet about a lot becoming in LA. How does it turn out, or is that not going to happen?
It's not going to happen. Sadly, I was working with someone with a regional center, and they're doing some construction, and the part that we wanted to use, it won't be free. They're using it for storage for the other part of it. So,
oh wow,
yeah, it's sad. Yeah.
That took it out. But yeah, we have the address below for the viewers. But if you want to tell them where it's at, that way it's coming from your voice. We love to have you express that.
Okay. Well, my tree lot is in Anaheim. It's the cross streets is Ball and Brookhurst. Address is 2295 West Ball Road. We're right across from the post office.
So if any of you guys are listening or viewing this, hey, go out and support. It's for a great cause. You get your Christmas tree, and you'll get a chance to help out these young men who are have special needs, that's got a job and doing great things. And he's doing great things for the community. I ask you guys to go out and support this 100%. Go ahead, Sir Freddie.
Yeah, I have one last question. What are the ages of these young men that participate in your tree lot during the season?
I think the youngest one was 18. But then my son, he's been going there since really all my kids. I guess it's been damn near slave labor, but they've been going. My son, he remember being there picking up a tree when he was like 8 or 9. So I'm like, really? I said, did I pay you? And he was like, I think you did. I said, yeah, I did. Yeah, I paid you.
Yeah, my wallet feels a little lighter. I know.
Yeah, you got the Christmas gift, so you got paid.
Of course. My man. I love it.
But in the group, coming from the group home, the youngest one I think was 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just another question, kind of piggybacking off of that. Do they have to come out of that group home, or maybe somebody can get in contact with you and want that have special need child or man or young adult that might want to be a part of that? Can they do that by reaching out to you, or is it just through the group home?
You know what? I have a relationship with them. I would love to have more that I can bring in. I mean, she has 7 group homes, so she has to narrow it down to to basically 15 people.
Okay.
So and it is kind of and how she do it, she says whatever they're supposed to do on their ladder of getting themselves in good standing, she used that for you do this, then who's ever doing everything they're supposed to get to go work at a tree lot. So,
that's great, man. I love it. We want to transition into something else that you're doing that's been really great. I love it. I want to play this video, then we can have you come back and kind of talk about it a little bit, and we'll go into a few more, but let's start with this.
Have this program to carve it out for special needs children. It has changed so many children's lives, including my own child. It's given Trevor a sense of purpose in the sports world. He knows he's an athlete and his confidence is boosted up, and it lets him know that he is special and he is seen just like any other child.
Tell our listening audience a little bit about that and your participation.
Oh man, so this is one of my favorites here. Snoop Special Stars. I mean, everybody knows Snoop for everything, from rapping, selling gin and cars and everything else. I know about it. His all the NFL players that he put in the NFL through his Snoop League. A lot of people don't know about Snoop Special Stars. Snoop's director of all sporting is Nikani, and Nikani and I sat down and a couple more close friends, and we brainstormed the Snoop Special Stars. Nikani has a daughter that's on the spectrum, and a couple other friends do too, and some are just loving parents that just love kids. And we came up with Snoop Special Stars, created the rules. We looked at flag football rules, which they're great, but not for our kids. So we had to redo everything, change everything. So I went through the rules of the national flag football rules. I think we kept one page.
Out of 200.
Yeah,
So basically, y'all ain't got no rules.
No, we got rules, but our rules are complete. We created, you have to go off of something, and you have to,
Right.
So we're creating something. So, okay, we want to do this, we want to do that. Then we realized our kids, first and 10, regular standard first and 10. We can't really do that with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Offsides, no, illegal, movement or formation. They can't do that with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we threw all that out.
Right.
Only thing we have that's flag football is the flags and the football. And then we play on the field. That's the only thing.
Well, let me show our listening audience a little bit of some of that you're talking about.
Youth Football League was created in 2005. The kids that play football in the inner cities, I wanted to provide a way for them to make their grades and not their mothers and fathers' finances be the key to them playing football. We started getting fathers, uncles, mothers, grandmothers that wanted to just come out and help. We have sent over 20 kids to the NFL. We've sent over 5,000 to Division I programs to graduate with degrees. We got Rhodes Scholars, we got lawyers, doctors, physicians that have came from the Snoop Youth Football League.
The Snoop Youth Football League has done an amazing job of giving back and providing a place where kids can come and learn and play football and have a place to go to get off the streets and do something positive in their lives.
So it originated from that, and then it led into what you were talking about with this, the special needs kids.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, were you involved at the infancy when he started it at that point? And then I know you said he was your client or something like that at one time.
Not the tackle football. I wasn't a part of that. Which I wish I was, but I wasn't. It's the Snoop Special Stars. That was
Right.
part at the beginning.
Right.
Yes. So,
You're the coach for that league. Is that the case?
yeah, I carry a lot of titles. I just say coach, but yeah, I'm that. I'm like the janitor. Whatever needs to be done, I'm there. So
That's right. That's right.
That's right. So and the janitor don't go out for any, big names or whatever needs to be
Right.
done. Janitors sit there and hold down the classroom if you have to. So,
Right.
That's right. Yeah. He already cleaned up behind everybody.
You
Now
know
you know
what?
what's going on. Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
that's what I'm like. I'm like the janitor. I'm a coach. I'm a little bit of everything. So,
When you're doing this, do you have a problem with the parents, or do the parents have a problem with you, the way you're coaching?
well, see, no, we haven't had any problems. Usually the parents that come in, they're so happy that they have something for their kids to come to, can call theirs. Just like the one mother said, she was saying that, he's an athlete. He calls himself an athlete, and he is an athlete. And, they got something they can celebrate for, and it's something to look forward to. As a matter of fact, it's one of the tools that they can say, hey, today we're going for practice. Oh, okay. They get excited for. You know, if they're having a bad day or something, they say, hey, you know what, you got to practice tomorrow, and they will, you know, shaping up something they can look forward to. So that's yeah. So the parents coming out, it's not tackle football where another parent's asking about getting more play time or something like that. You know, you know, it's not that, you know, thing going
It's not
on.
the typical politics. And after looking at this, I can see why.
Special Stars gave us a community to have fun, and he knows that the Snoop Special Stars made this possible.
I love that because this man's back there dancing, and I think you had mentioned something that's not a touchdown unless they celebrate. You want to explain that to our listening audience?
That's one of the rules we created. So one of the biggest things with our kids, you know, they have brothers and family members that plays different sport, and they're out there celebrating them, and they're cheering for them. You know, if you go into and watching the basketball, you have a kid in there that may be on the spectrum that the parents like, hey, he just made a shot, cheer for him, whatever, and he's learning how to cheer. But the problem is no one's cheering for our kids. And they're not being celebrated. So the Snoop Special Stars is about celebrating them.
Yeah. And that celebration brings on that much more joy, and that's that fun that you have. And like you say, throw the playbook out, throw the rules out, just go have fun, run and have fun.
Right. And so we implemented about dancing or some type of celebration.
I thought you were saying they do. You can't see me. You can't see me.
It's whatever. Some don't want to dance.
The Undertaker.
I have one, like, he loves the Undertaker. Every year for our Halloween party, he's the Undertaker. He loves the Undertaker, so he'll do the, you know, whatever the Undertaker do, and then one of them loves John Cena, so he get a touchdown, and he's doing this. And, you know,
oh man!
You know, so it's whatever they want to celebrate, or they want other people to see them do. You know, that's what then if you do that, then it's a touchdown.
Have any of these kids ever surprised you and just did something you didn't expect? You know, like, wait a minute, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah, every time, because we're like, okay, go ahead, you know, and they go home and practice. Their parents
so they can't wait to do it. Yeah,
you know, to do something, you know. So they get there, and one started breakdancing. I was like, whoa, you're too young to know about breakdancing.
Oh, really?
Get it around? Yeah. So yeah.
So,
I understand not only the players are special needs. Speak to the special need cheerleaders.
Okay, we have well, let me go back. We are co-ed flag football.
Gotcha.
So one of my best quarterbacks is now one of my coaches, but she was a quarterback. So we have players that play, and we have male and female, and then we have the cheerleader squad. So, and the cheerleaders won a competition in Vegas last year.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So they competed at some cheerleading competition, and they won. So they're not just out there with some little small pom-poms.
Pom-poms, yeah.
They know routines, everything.
So they practice too and get together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. They ain't messing around.
Wow. So he has facilities for them to go practice in, or they do it on the field while you guys are out there practicing?
Yep. So we have, well, you know what? Sometimes the cheerleaders, they go practice somewhere else, which I don't know where they practice.
Okay.
But they practice usually the same time we're at practice. And they just go to the side, because we'll rent out different parks, because we have our LA chapter, which we have 6 teams, the Orange County chapter, 6 teams, and we have the IE chapter.
I remember you said the chapter here in LA has like 250 involved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty big.
Yeah,
that's pretty big, you know, and it's growing, I'm sure.
It's growing. Yeah. I mean, we'd love to go to different areas and have, you know, it should be, you know, 3 chapters in LA and 3 in Orange County. And because, you know, we don't have the coaches and the volunteers. Yeah. Everyone's volunteer. There's no one's getting paid or anything like that.
Yeah.
Snoop, whatever needs to be paid for, Snoop pays for it. And we don't take all donations because a lot of donations want us to change things.
Gotcha.
And that's some things, where I'm not going to
Right.
speak on that, but that's the county's stage. But we don't want to change things. And usually, when certain people donate, they want to change some of the rules, and our rules are set for our kids.
Yeah. Hold on, Fred. I had a question about his son, Jai. You had mentioned that earlier about how Jai used to show up for his brothers and sisters and cheer on them. Tell the story that you mentioned to us during the meet and greet about when he played. Did he play for Snoop's league
No.
the first time?
No, he played for El Segundo tackle football league, the ECC or something like that.
Okay.
And I have a buddy that used to run. He used to be the president. And my son was, interested in it, and that's okay. I really wasn't into coaching, but I'll say, hey, I can come out and help out your kids if you find me a team where my son can come and participate. I said, I don't know what he'll do. I don't know if he just go look or what, but see if I can get him out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I will, pledge to, no matter if my son do anything or not, I will stay there all year.
Mm-hmm.
And so found an unbelievable team. And I'm still friends with all these guys and their kids now. And we have a brotherhood, and my son came out. All the kids knew about him and his handicap. And he did everything. They welcomed him. They hugged him. They brought him in. They, it cheered him on. And so he was part of the team. He ended up, I didn't think he'd put the helmet on because his ears were sensitive. Ended up putting the helmet on. We had one game where was the other team knew about it, where he got in and he played because he would come every game and he would warm up, and then when the game started, then he'd go up to the stands, with his moms and everything. So we wanted to get him in the game. Or really, they wanted to get him in the game. I wasn't pushing for it, and they brought it up and said we're going to make a game for him to play.
Did he actually score a touchdown in that game?
No, yeah, he did. He did. I forgot. Yeah, he did. So he was a lineman, but they ended up giving him the ball.
Yeah. You
So-
said that was a highlight of his life right there. At that
Yeah,
point.
it was. So, at that point, that was the highlight. So he got 10 touchdowns. His brothers was there. All the family showed up, cheered, and everything. So it was good.
Wow. So that he got that love in return, like he always does. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. Go ahead, Sir President. I just wanted to miss out the opportunity since we were talking about this Snoop's Special Stars, and I want to do one more after your question.
All right. No, I'm sitting here listening with a big lump in my throat, just listening to all of this, how it's coming together, the passion you have. How does this make you feel to be a part of the developmental portion of this for these special youngsters? How does that? I'm sitting here with a big lump in my throat right now. How does that?
Well, it's you become a family to these kids. It was one kid I remember. He started out the season with not wanting me to even touch him. Not like I'm like, you're like, all right, come land up over here or this and that. Don't touch me. And it's okay. All right, but I want you to stand over here. No, and then he would like try to pinch me or something or whatever. And then parents would run over. I'm sorry. I said, no, don't worry about it. I got this extra layer of fat. It's all right. I don't. And so he was doing it for reaction for me to whatever. So I would ignore him and try to pinch me or something. But he started out that way, and slowly he started participating. Like even in the games, he would just stand there. He wouldn't do anything. All right, it's your turn. You want to get the ball? No, I don't want to do this and that, And then by the end, he's getting the ball and doing things and cheering. And then when it came down to the last game, he was hugging me and he said, I don't want this to be the last game. He said, I don't want to play.
Wow.
And I was like, well, if I don't play, then we got to play another game.
Oh, he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, he was trying to make it where it's not the last. I said, no.
Right.
He said, well, I'm not going to see you anymore. I said, yeah, you will. I said, we're going to have our Halloween, we're going to have our banquet, and then the season start over again. Yeah, but it's going to be a long time. And, it took, like really watching that, and this is like maybe our 5th, 6th season of doing this, like that kid, of completely turning around and hugging us and crying because he don't want to be the last, game.
He wants to continue. It does not stop. Wow.
Right.
That showed definitely some progress there, and that you guys have a great program there for him to have that kind of attachment to it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Matter of fact, let's roll into that since you brought that up.
Special Stars is a program that we created in 2017, which caters to individuals with intellectual and physical disabilities.
Miss Nakani was a team mom on my team, and she was speaking to a lot of the issues that some of the kids that had disabilities, and she wanted to provide some sort of program for them. And we gave these kids a chance to come out and be a part of something that was going to be game-changing, because it was not being ashamed and not being afraid of the disabilities, but finding the genius and the love in the kid and the person.
Man, you don't know how much I love that as a coach. My children, my sons, I coached them in Little League. So I can only imagine if I knew about a program like this, if my son had any kind of, special needs, I would have definitely been involved. So I commend you, man. And I commend everybody who's involved with the Snoop Special Stars. I wish we had Snoop on here today to kind of give us, our listening audience, a little bit of insight, but you covering that very well, man. You have a personal relationship with Snoop. I'm sure that's second to none, being a part of this program. How's that relationship with you and Snoop?
It's great. And what Snoop noticed, because we used to have a camp every year, and he noticed that when he comes out, he take away from it in some ways, because he wanted everything to shine on the kids.
Yeah.
He tries not to come out as much because he don't want the kids to be, he don't want to take the shine away from the kids.
Yeah, he's not a Jerry Jones, in other words.
Oh no. Hell no.
For you that don't know, I'm talking about Jerry Jones. He's in the forefront of that America's team, so he takes a shine off everybody. So
right.
Yeah,
no. He believes. I mean, if anyone that didn't know Snoop, he believes in letting people shine and certain things shine the way it's supposed to. And this program, he wanted to shine the kids to shine and have everything focusing in on the kids. And that's the whole point. There's nobody, like I said, Nakani runs everything, but she doesn't walk up and say, hey, I run this, no, nobody. We all, as a staff members, we're all together. No one has, this say or that say. It's about the kids. So it's an easier program and easier to love because of that. Every kid plays. Every kid get a chance to get a touchdown or whatever. No matter what their disability is, no matter if they're high function or not. I mean, we got some kids out there that's unbelievable athletes. And then we have a couple of kids in wheelchairs. We have so it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to have fun and they're out there doing it.
I had a question regarding this. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Frederick. Go ahead.
One of the things, it comes back to discipline and behavior. How do you handle that with some children that have behaviors that stick out? In fact, I like to go into this next clip and share this clip with you of this little girl. And I don't know if she's on the spectrum or not, but I just wanted to get your take on this when it comes to behavior. Can you roll that clip, Chris?
Hands are not for hitting. When you're ready to use your inside voice, you can talk to me. Laura Lane. Hey. Can you use your inside voice? No. We don't need to yell. Hey, no. Hands are not for hitting. We don't throw stuff. Well, we can go inside when you're ready to be nice. Hands are not for hitting. I don't like that. That hurts. You need to keep your hands to yourself and be nice. No, we are in timeout until you're ready to be nice. Are you ready to be nice? No. Okay, well then we're going to stay out here until you're ready.
Yeah, that mother was handling that with real calm. Do you have anything like that to that extreme on the field, and how would you handle something like that?
No, we don't. One thing about it, when we start like when we start practice and everything else, it's something they want to do. And then our kids, they're I guess like the other so-called normal kids, they have bad days.
Yeah.
I've been around tackle football, and I love being around our kids. The tackle football kids, their tantrums, I can't handle. I can't handle them kids. Our special stars, I mean, it's when you show up, it's with love. And so you have a different, no matter what your training is, and if you have a special need kid or not, you're coming there with different mentality. So I can't speak on this lady on what she's working on and working with. She may be on step one of her programs of getting her kid to start understanding, hitting and tantrums or whatever. She might be using a different, technique or something. So I can't really, speak on her because there's a lot of things you got to go back to see where that come from.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's true, because that's why we're disclosing that we're not saying that this child has autism. We're actually talking about behavior and equating it to being out there on the field, because every level, like you said, it doesn't matter. They're coming out there and they're going to play. So in some levels, there are aggressive children because that's just, they don't understand, and we just wanted to get your take on that. Like I say, as a disclosure for the Men's Line of LA, we're not saying that child has special needs. We don't know. We just wanted to talk about the behavior, and we wanted to ask that question based upon Snoop's stars, special stars. And I think you did a great job with that, man, and you're doing a great job. That's what my question was initially. When does it start, and how can people sign up for that? And we can put that information in the link below, because we should have gotten that from you earlier, but we will have it in the link. Give us that information so we can have our listening audience know when to get involved in this program.
All right, we have an Instagram page, and when we're about to start, we have a camp or we're about to start the season, it's on our Instagram page, and it's Snoop Special Stars. And you can just look that up on Instagram. We haven't set our start date for next year yet. We are having our Halloween banquet this weekend, but we haven't set up our dates we usually try to have a camp, which we bring out a lot of Rams and Chargers and other athletes of all sports, really, to come out, volunteer, and we have a little one-day camp for the kids. And then we usually kick off the season shortly after that. So we have to Snoop is usually at that one. He tried to be there. So we're trying to go around his schedule, and then also a lot of our athletes from the Chargers that dedicated their time for it.
Mhm.
So we have to check the schedule, all their schedules, and try to come up with a day, a weekend.
Yeah, whenever you get that, make sure you give it to us for this broadcast. And like I say, we'll have it in the description, and we'll put it on our website as well, inside of our resource page on our website. And that'll be helpful to our listening audience and anyone who's joining us here at the Men's Lounge LA. But I look at it like this, man. All of those children out there are superheroes, man.
Yes.
They're all superheroes, man. I love it. I love it. They're all superheroes. That's a beautiful thing, man, that you guys are doing. As a matter of fact, obviously, we're brothers now, man. You're part of this brotherhood, the Men's Lounge LA. So when this thing gets started, man, Frederick and I are gonna make a appearance over there. We're gonna be by your side, man. If we can get on the sideline, give us a loop to get in, so we can be on the sideline next to you, and we can just get there, and we'll do a cigar off the lot. But we're gonna have to definitely get with you on that. But we when we first start talking, this is going just as long as the other one. Like I said, it's a lot of information, so hopefully you guys are hanging in with us on the listening audience. Conservatorship, can you kind of touch in a little bit on that, and we'll kind of end the show on this, because we really wanted to kind of go into that, because it's very important at that age of 18, I believe you said it is, when conservatorship has to be granted to the family. And I'm still learning about it. I did a lot more research, but you dealt with it personally, and you wanted to avoid it. Can you explain it to the listening audience?
There's a thing out there where when the state is helping you out with your special need child, your child is on that spectrum, and there's a point when they turn 18 that you got to make sure that you have conservatorship, because the state, for whatever reason, could come in and take over conservatorship. Any little incident, like one of the biggest fears I have with my son, I let you know how big he is. If he look at the wrong person the wrong way and scare him, we can get some type of small case, ridiculous case, but we can get one. Because he doesn't know about personal space. He can walk by, he can accidentally hit somebody or bump into somebody, and they fall down. If intended or not, by the law, that's still assault.
Yeah.
Depends on who's looking at it. He get a case, and he's 18, 19, and there's no conservatorship there. If the state, there's a lot of other things that can go in play, but I'm just going way to the left. So legally, there's a lot of things they can do, but the state could take over.
So almost anything can trigger a state intervention.
Well, you have to get the social worker in. If they say the house is where he's living is unlivable, or this and that, there's a lot of things they go by. But, hey, what if that same time you just lost your job or this and that? They come over and your house is not clean and like it normally is. It's a ramshack. Just it's a lot of variables how they will grade you, and then they would say, "Oh, we think your kid needs to be here, there." So you need to make sure the conservatorship is set up before he's 18, and have a plan.
In our meet and greet, you had you shared with us your experience of almost not necessarily losing your son, but in terms of conservatorship. Can you speak to that real quick, please?
Yes, my son, mother, and I were not together, and I had a big fear about that, and I kept pushing her, and just happened I was out of the country working, and I was like, hey, he'd already turned 18, I said, we need to get this done. We need to get it done now. File the paperwork. And kept, prolonging things, whatever. And I ended up, when I got back in town, I just went to court to try to figure out where everything is. And she had filled the paperwork out, just her. Her conservator only, not joint conservatorship. And I had to figure out how to fill the paperwork out. There was a lady in there helping me. I mean, I'm not a legal person, but I was figuring it out within 30 minutes of the court closing.
Wow.
And so I had to fill it out, turn it in, and get it filed and everything else that day, which to me, I'm not a paperwork person. I hire people to do that. So I was trying to get somebody to come down there too.
Use your resources. I agree. If you have to.
I was even trying to hire an attorney there walking through the hallways.
There you go. That's right. Do what's necessary, man. Because when I hear about something like this, it actually disturbs me. And I can understand it from certain situations because, Erica is a friend of yours and she explained something during that meet and greet. And she basically said that there was some parents out there that just wasn't capable of taking care of that child at that time. And they didn't mind having it going into the system because it was better for the child and as well as them from where they were health-wise. So there's different situations out there, but it still disturbs me to a point to where if it's not warranted and then someone just come in with a clipboard and a pen and just start writing down stuff, and all of a sudden now your child who has these special needs is taken out of the home, I have a big problem with that. But we wanted to share that. But we also had some very interesting things we were doing during our research, and hopefully it can come up and kind of enlighten some of the people to understand, what's happening here with this particular disability and how you need to be prepared, similar to what he was saying, You want to address this, Sir Frederick?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. There are no reliable statistics on what percentage of autistic children are removed from their homes due to a lack of conservatorship filings. While autism can place significant stress on the family and contribute to divorce, but there's no data linking conservatorship filings to the child. Lack of data. There's no specific data on the percentage and the stress on the family. The challenges associated with caring for an autistic child can lead to a significant stress and a higher rate of divorce. But this is different from a conservatorship leading to a child removal. You can go to the next slide, Coach. One of the reasons why we're bringing this up is simply because if you're going through this and still dealing with it, I'm pretty sure someone else is, and this is helpful. Let's go to the next slide, Chris. What the court will consider. A necessity, the court must be convinced that the conservatorship is necessary to protect your child's well-being and that the proposed conservatee is unable to manage their own personal needs or finances. The next one is least restrictive alternative. The court is required to find the least restrictive option possible, and then developmental disability. For limited conservatorship in some states, we're in California, the court will need to decide if the individual has a developmental disability, which can include autism.
Yeah, that's kind of what he alluded to initially on that, but we'll move on because it's a lot to cover and we want to make sure we get as much in as possible.
Yeah, for those that might be struggling with this. Number 4, preparing.
I'm sorry, did you want to add to that, Tyrone?
Well, yeah, so one of the parts he was saying, what they will do is, all right, my son, mother, and I, we're going through it now. He's an adult, but we have custody and conservatorship concerns. So the courts will automatically appoint lawyer for the special need child or person, adult. One we have don't give a damn about my son. We've been going back and forth for about 5 years now, and he still doesn't know my son's name.
Unbelievable.
And he doesn't. He really doesn't care about our son and what's best for him. And he's supposed to be a court-appointed attorney for my son. So
Yeah.
he would be someone that just there, you know. I shouldn't. I might leave that part out. But he's a person that don't care about black fathers.
Wow, that makes it tough.
Sound like a public defender when it comes down to our community.
Right.
So
he doesn't care about black fathers and how important the father is in the life. The judge had to a few times had to stop and say no a few times. And so his point is more of whatever the mother says, that's the way we're going to go. And then just put a little extra on it.
Yeah, he didn't want to be involved. He was just there just to take up space. He didn't want to be involved.
Oh, he's getting a check.
He's a check collector.
Yeah. So, and every time at the end of whatever day we have in court, he asks for more hours. And so more hours for him so he can charge the state for more hours.
To do nothing.
And when we get there, they asked him the same thing, whatever he came about with the meetings, this and that. Your Honor, I've been this and that. I mean, which I told him, I said, when this is over, my full attention is on you and every family lives that you destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a forensic research on every case you've done once this is over with my son.
Wow.
So here's what we want to do. Prepare for the court hearing. Attend the scheduled court hearing to present your case to the judge. And you might need to show that the conservatorship will encourage your child's maximum self-reliance and independence. And like we were just mentioning, getting legal representation. A judge may appoint an attorney, which just happened in your case, that really wasn't working out in your favor, to represent you and your child. But having your own legal counsel is the best crucial start.
The one thing you got a little confused. I have my attorney. She has her attorney.
Got you.
The judge appointed an attorney to speak for my son.
That's ridiculous.
So he's supposed to be speaking for my son. So we got 3 attorneys there. So since he's supposed to be the conservative court voice for our son.
That is ridiculous. Right. That's crazy.
Wow. Okay, how to start the conservatorship process? File a petition. Submit a petition to the court that includes details about why you're seeking conservatorship and the specific powers you're requesting. Gathering evidence. Provide documentation to support your claim that your child is unable to manage their own finances and their personal needs. And then number 3, file required forms. Complete and file all the necessary court forms. An online program like Law Help Interactive will assist with filling out forms in certain California counties, but will not file it for you.
We're talking about California, but anywhere in the country, I'm sure you should be able to follow these same guidelines because these guidelines can help you with conservatorship anywhere in the country if you follow them to the T. Because right. California has different laws than everybody else. We're on a different planet here in California than it is in everywhere else throughout the country. So we wanted to address that. Did you have anything you want to add to that on that one, Tyrone, since you have some experience in this?
That is like you said, the most important. Any request, you got to reply, and you got to be on the. Keep your notes of whenever you're supposed to go in, because they will supposed to mail out a date to go to court. You don't show, then they're going to rule against you.
Yeah. Yeah,
just by being there, even though if you need an attorney, you don't have an attorney, you need legal, representation or advice. By showing and saying that will give you more time, and the judge will, the judges are not inhuman. They will, give you that time.
sounds like something you guys need to take heed of, family. Listen to that. It goes a long way. Just a couple of more, and then we'll get to closing this out pretty soon. Go ahead, Sir Frederick.
Okay, before you begin, explore alternatives. Before pursuing conservatorship, consider and be prepared to explain why less restrictive alternatives, such as a representative payee program, durable power of attorney, or a special needs trust, are not sufficient to protect your child's well-being. Consider timing. Start the process well in advance of their turning 18 years old, contacting a lawyer at least a year in advance to set the arrangements that are recommended. Consult an attorney. Work with an attorney experienced, that's the key, in conservatorship and special needs planning to guide you through the process, as it can be complex.
Anything you want to elaborate on that, Tyrone?
No, that's basically self-explanatory. Everything, yeah.
I agree.
And to get
go ahead.
conservatorship for your autistic child, you must file a petition with the court providing evidence of your child's developmental disability and demonstrate that conservatorship is necessary and the least restrictive alternative. You need to attend a court hearing to present your case, and are strongly advised to consult with attorney. That's important. I've heard this 4 or 5 times. Specializing in conservatorship and your special needs planning to ensure all the paperwork is completed correctly and to navigate the legal process. The process should be started before the child turns 18.
That's a lot to cover, and it's a lot to go through. So far as I'm concerned, this pales in comparison to getting blindsided or even losing your child, not understanding the process. So for me, we really wanted to share this with the Men's Lounge LA viewing audience and the experience that Tyrone went through and his fear that he had, just knowing from the beginning this can be an issue. Us, Frederick and I, going through this process of learning about autism, and then to hear this with the meet and greet, I really wanted to address that. So hopefully you guys out there in the listening audience can really understand how important that part is in your life. And if it's warranted and you want to have your child in a system and you have your health issues, I get that. The reason why, because you are dealing with some things and this child needs to have that care. Similar to what Tyrone said about Jai. Jai is going to need this kind of care for the rest of his life, and he knows that, and he's going to be there for him. And he has the will and the ability to do it. A lot of you people that probably don't have the will and ability to do that, take advantage of the system, see how the system works, and then go ahead and live your life and know that your child's going to be okay. But for people out there that have children that that you're living right, you have this household and all these things that's in line, that needs to be in line, don't get caught off guard. I fear for that for you guys. Don't get caught off guard. That's my take on that. But it's a way to end the show, or heading towards the end before we do our takeaway. And it's been a long show, man. I tell you right now, brother, I can talk to you for hours, man, but we don't want to keep you away from your other stuff. But man, you have great stories. This Snoop Dogg Special Stars. Like I say, even though you were, a Husky and not a Trojan, we still boys. So I'm good with that.
Well, you did show one of the top Trojans earlier, Willie McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis. That's right. Matter of fact, I meant to say something about that when it went off, but we went a different direction. Yeah. That is my boy, Willie McGinnis. Yeah, that's right.
Willie Mack's putting in the good work. He got his own program too, also, and he helps out special need kids too. So, there are a couple of people from SC doing good stuff.
Yeah. I'm one of them, so it's all good.
Yeah. No. I mean, like we said earlier, in the sporting world, usually your biggest rivals would become your best friends. So
Yeah.
and that's I mean, I hang out with so many USC people, it's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's like I said earlier, man. It's a brotherhood, man. It's a brotherhood, man. When you get involved in sports and you understand the passion it takes to get to that point, the passion it takes to stay there, the passion it takes to be involved, to practice. I mean, all that stuff is. I mean, it's taxing on the body, it's taxing on your mind, but it also leads you into directions to look at what you're doing today, man. You know, you have a security company that you have, you know, I'm gonna put you over yourself, you know, and you have this card out there, man. Look at this dude, man. It looks like he's about to rip somebody's head off right now, man. You know? And then, but it all started with this trophy right here, man. You know, we covering up your faces, but hey, you know what? It's a beautiful thing, man. I got nothing but love and respect for you.
You have to go back really where it began. You know, what really began is in Compton at the YMCA boxing. And then, you know, going from there and then going to Banning High School, which I don't think is any other high schools in Los Angeles area, but that's another conversation. But yeah, Banning High School, then you have junior high schools after that.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So the Banning High School Brotherhood, and I will say really, a lot of this stuff comes from Banning.
Yeah.
We had a Italian coach, a head coach that never cursed, still to the day. A white offensive line coach, Asian, Filipino linebacker coach, black linebacker coach, a Mexican D-line coach, Mexican defensive coordinator coach that had all these black, Samoan, Filipino, Mexican players from every gang in the area and made us come together, create a goal, and work together, accomplish the goal.
Yeah.
So,
and look where it led you to, man. You know,
right. So with that, with people like that to come in and help us and brought all of us from all backgrounds. And their background is something different. And it is all about helping. And they didn't get money. They didn't get they got teacher salary. They got a stipend, $1,000 that they supposed to share.
Wow.
Back then. So no, so you know, if they did that, what am I supposed to do?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the turnaround.
Yeah, a lot of people don't watch sports, man, but I know sports to me, man, is life lessons in all forms. You know, it's just life lessons, man. And that's what I wanted to make sure I portrayed to my kids that I coach, man, you know. But we like I say, we could talk about that all day. But one thing that we wanted to talk about, because we beat ourselves up as men, and when it comes down to care, I was a care provider for my mom before she passed. He was a care provider for his aunt before she passed, and you know, I needed some help after that. You know, I seek some self-care. Last question, unless Frederick has something else from me, and then we'll chop it up a little bit later on takeaway. What kind of self-care you got for yourself right now, brother?
You know what? It's almost like I just said, the brotherhood of even my SC brothers. I mean, I can call them that. We sat around. You know, we use insults as help.
Of course. Why do you think me and him get along so well?
Yeah. So we use insults and help. You know, I have friends from Banning that I've been knowing since elementary school. One of my best friends, he lives in Tampa Bay, Florida. We talk 3-4 times a day, literally. Or if we're not on the phone, we're texting some kind of stupid joke.
There you
Inappropriate joke for the show, but you know, we're you know, and it's something about us, a friend, or some old picture or something.
Right.
You know, his father's name is Ernie, and Ernie is the most Richard Pryor had nothing on him. You
My
know,
boy.
and we got Ernie jokes where we just can go on days and days.
Gotcha.
You know, and you know, we'll talk about Ernie, and Ernie's to talk about us. So that's our self-help group that we will, you know, go through and sit down, and you know, sit down and have a drink and a talk, which is, you know, you're not saying what your problem is that day, but you're having a mental break.
Right. That's the key. That mental break. You know, we got about 5 minutes here. We want to do one last thing here, man. After it's all said and done, at the end of our show, we always have a takeaway.
Yes.
What is the takeaway that you would like to have our listening audience take away from this today by you being a part of this process?
When you see a special need person, don't look at them as woes them. You should look at yourself, because they're in a better world than we are. Their world is way better than ours.
Wow.
You need to, you know, take something from them, rub their shoulder or something, and get what they have.
I agree with that 100%. With all the research we've done, even on how we started this show off with that Rain Man video on how this brother was able to connect with a brother he didn't even know about at the beginning, and then how you connected with these children you're going through, the Snoop Special Stars, and even your own son, you know, and the children I've been circled around at this point, you know, just the life that they live, man, I think is so pleasant. And these are, like I said, incredible people, you know. But go ahead, Sir Frederick, and we're going to wind this down.
Coach, what's your takeaway?
Just what I said, you know, the things that we learn from them is my takeaway. And then on this show, the incredible job that Snoop Dogg is doing, along with Tyrone Rogers with his Christmas tree lot, and these people on how they gravitate to certain things, and when they get involved, they put their whole heart into it, and their heart is pure from what I'm hearing, you know, and that's a beautiful thing. You have yours? Because I think we only have a few minutes here. We want to make sure we don't keep...
you know what? Being patient, being loving, and just being open and not judgmental. You know, everyone's going through something, and we handle it differently. Some are not handling it at all or very well, but we're all going through something. And to be patient with people and not judgmental. So that's my takeaway.
You know, at the end of our shows, we always will say, as we empower men, everyone benefits, including the woman who's looking for a man like that.
And here at the Men's Lounge, LA, we're empowering men, strengthening families, and transforming lives. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time in the lounge.
Thanks for watching the Men's Lounge LA.